From Ray Tanner Field at Founders Park, the rain has cleared and we get ready for baseball. Tonight, it's Game 3. The Ivy League and the SEC, the South Carolina Gamecocks, will go for the sweep as they host the Princeton Tigers. Dave Weinstein alongside Cade Crenshaw. 2 wins yesterday for South Carolina. It wasn't easy, Cade. You were here on the radio side. Princeton came to play.
Yeah, they certainly did, Dave. 21 hits across yesterday's doubleheader, 7 for extra bases, and the Tigers also pitched pretty well out of the bullpen in those close losses. So it sets up what should be a pretty fun Sunday series finale.
Well, Logan Sutter had a big day for South Carolina. 2 homers, the second of which proved to be a game winner.
Yeah, this is a young man who started out a little bit slow to the season, went hitless on opening weekend, but is really finding his form at the right time with league play on the horizon, and he's starting to look like the preseason All-American we thought he would be.
He is the team leader in homers, 4 on the season now for Sutter. Meanwhile, if you like production from the 9 spot, doesn't get much better than Grant Wardesheim. 2 hits in Game 1, Cade, 3 hits in Game 2.
Yeah, he was just a thorn in the Gamecocks side all day long yesterday. 5 hits, drove in 3 runs, cap it off with a double. He was just the do-it-all man that set things up nicely for the top of the Tigers order.
And on the mound for the Gamecocks tonight, it's a junior right-hander, Ant Phillips.
Yeah, transfer from USC Upstate stepping in, and good stuff from him. It's going to be a low to mid-90s fastball that I really think plays well at the top of the zone, and it sets up his secondary pitch. A really good slider. It's got some late tilt on it that really sets it up as a good put-away pitch after sprinkling those fastballs at the top of the zone, and he's working on developing changeup since he got here to Columbia.
And here's the lineup he will face for the Tigers. Leading off will be the designated hitter, Joe Montembeau. Batting second, the left fielder, Bennett Crerar. Batting third, the first baseman, Thomas Cernius. Cleaning up, the right fielder, Jake Coonan. Batting fifth, the catcher, Will Robbins. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Jake Kernodle. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Isaac Lamson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Tommy Googans. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Grant Wardesheim.
Only 2 lefties in that Princeton lineup, Dave, and I feel like that plays a little bit better for the right-hander Ant Phillips than what he saw in his last start last Saturday against Clemson, where they just sprinkled that lineup with lefties. So much more favorable for him here tonight.
2 of those lefties will be due up here in the top of the first in Montembeau and Cernius. They're both freshmen. 3 freshmen at the top of the order for the Tigers. They started 4 freshmen in Game 1, 5 freshmen in Game 2. It's a young, talented roster, Cade.
Yeah, a youthful team that just believes. They aren't intimidated by the SEC or anything like that. They're just young kids out there playing.
And first pitch strike from Ant Phillips to Joe Montembeau. Montembeau in the series so far is 1 for 8 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Just scored a couple of runs. He's a freshman from Brookhaven, Georgia. Quickly behind 0-2.
That was that changeup pitch from Ant Phillips that he's continuing to develop as the season goes on. Came over from USC Upstate, really is a 2-pitch guy, and to be a starter in this league, you need that 3rd pitch, and that's what he's trying to do.
Went to JUCO, then USC Upstate, wanted to be a Gamecock. Ultra competitive on the mound is Ant Phillips. His last start was against Clemson, 3 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, a couple of walks, and 3 Ks. Suffered the loss. He was great against Navy, earned the win with 6 shutout innings, only gave up 1 hit. We're going to get back to that form tonight against Princeton. Here's the 1-2. Just missed. Count evens to 2-2.
And I thought that he was a little bit better than the numbers indicated against Clemson last Saturday, Dave. I mean, you're talking about a guy who gave up a 2-run home run that added to those earned run totals. He has that pitch back. He holds the Tigers to 1 run. And the thing I'm looking for him here tonight, work on that pitch count a little bit more. Stretch himself across more innings.
Well, he strikes out Montembeau. Good start for Ant Phillips. 1 down.
Really good from Ant. Like I said, he uses that breaking ball a little bit to set things up. And then he went right back to that strong fastball of his.
1 down, it'll bring up the left fielder, Bennett Crerar. As I mentioned, 3 straight freshmen at the top of the order for Princeton. He's a Connecticut native. 2 for 10 in the series so far. One of those hits for extra bases, a double. Has got some pop. He homered twice last weekend at Duke, both 2-run shots. There you see the overall numbers, 176, 2 homers, and 4 driven in. One and one the count. The offensive numbers for this Princeton team, Kate, a little bit skewed coming in. This is a team that did not get to practice at all outside and then started their season with back-to-back weekend series on the road against ACC opponents in NC State and Duke, and here they are against an SEC team in South Carolina. That's through the left side, a one-out single for Career R.
Yeah, a team that didn't get out much in the preseason. It's not awfully too nice up in February in New Jersey weather-wise, but they're able to get out on the field these last couple weekends down south. And also remember, because of their academic schedule, they don't get midweek opponents here at the beginning of the year. So this is really a team that's still getting some of those real live pregame reps under their belt, especially with so many freshmen adjusting to the college game. It takes time for some hitters to settle in, and I think these numbers across the board for Princeton are going to go up, especially once they get to league play.
And this is only their third weekend as well. Ivy League starts a week later than everyone else. Fourth weekend for South Carolina. Thomas Cernius at the plate, first baseman, hitting .286, a homer, and a run batted in. 2 for 9 in this series.
Yeah, this kid just looks the part. 6'4", 210, big power lefty. Can't believe he's only a freshman when I saw him walk out there the first time.
Chops it up the middle. Scobie steps on second, fires to first. It's a double play. And that'll do it for Princeton in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first, scoreless from Founders Park.
Here at the University of South Carolina, I didn't have to choose between playing D1 ball and law school. You know, ever since I came here, my world just started expanding. They put me on this hallway with a bunch of doors, and then every door could be an opportunity. It's been a whole community of people who helped me transform my competitiveness on the court to doing meaningful work. I came here as a competitor. I left more certain of who I am and the impact I want to make.
Hi, come on in.
Hi.
Okay, let's start by watching a short video.
Pills, it's really easy to get.
It's scary.
I knew a guy who died of an overdose.
I took a pill from a friend. Stuff can kill you.
This kid died.
Mess them up. Laced with fentanyl.
He just took one pill.
I love my mom. I don't want her to worry.
This is Brady Kaufman.
Yeah, a young man who's done at the bat the last 2 games here this weekend, now steps on the bump. A youngster who's trying to really build his pitching repertoire, if you will, as he gets into college baseball. Fastball is going to sit in those upper 80s, low 90s, along with that breaking ball and a developing changeup pitch for him. Numbers, again, for him, much like Ant Phillips here in the early portion of the season, a little bit skewed. One great start, one tough start so far for Kaufman.
Opponents hitting .207 against him so far. It was outstanding against NC State, as Cade mentioned. The great start, 5 innings, just 1 hit, no runs. Last Sunday at Duke, 3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. So look to get back on track against this lineup for the Gamecocks. Leading off will be the first baseman, Will Craddock, and batting second will be the center fielder, Tyler Bach. Batting third will be the catcher, Talmadge Lecroy. Cleaning up will be the shortstop, KJ Scobie. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Ethan Lazama. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Logan Sutter. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Jack Reynolds. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Dawson Harmon. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Caleb Hoover. So a couple of changes to the lineup. As this team played 18 innings yesterday, Kate, so guys like Reynolds, Hoover, they're going to get an opportunity.
Yeah, and you got to work those guys in because you never know what will happen once SEC play gets going. And plus, they've got one more ball game coming up on Tuesday down to the Citadel, and then it's a road trip to Florida, a top 10 team in the country. So I don't mind the new faces getting in there, getting them some consistent at-bats, a full game, as opposed to what guys like Reynolds and Hoover have done and come in relief work so far this year. I like the move.
Carolina now 11-1 all-time against Princeton. Won game 1 yesterday, 10-7. Come from behind victory in game 2, 4-3. Looking for the sweep. Princeton looking to salvage the series. Princeton's 2 wins this year have come on Sundays. Sunday in Raleigh against NC State, and Sunday in Durham against Duke. Here's the freshman Craddock. Takes strike 1, 91 from Kaufman. Craddock 3 for 8 in the series. Also was hit by a pitch. Comes into tonight with an 11-game reach base streak. That's all 11 games he's played. That on-base percentage, Kate, an impressive .490. Just keeps getting on. Off the backhand attempt of Guggens. Craddock will reach. We'll see how they score.
Yeah, he's just such a young, impressive freshman. You know, big build. He looks the part to play in this league, and for him to step onto the scene like he has, really hasn't gone through that initiation phase that some freshmen do in college baseball. Craddock's a guy that this team believes in a lot, especially with SEC play coming up, and reminiscent a little bit to how Ethan Petrie started his career with South Carolina a couple years ago. Really burst on the scene, had a big breakout game in a midweek contest, just like Craddock did 2 weeks ago against Gardner-Webb, and he's got the power to show for it too.
He also has a base hit. They give him an infield single, and so now a 12-game reach base streak for Will Craddock, who leads off first. This is Tyler Bach. There goes Craddock. Bach bunts, and it's to the pitcher, Kaufman. They're going to have an easy double play. Not what the Gamecocks were looking for there.
No, just one of those can't-haves. And quite honestly, I mean, you're going to put a guy in motion there, trying to get some runs manufactured here early after Princeton has scored in the first inning on you twice this weekend. You hold them scoreless in the first, and you're trying to get your offense to take the early lead. You put Craddock heading towards second. That's a play Bach's got to get down.
So now it's 2 down and nobody on for Talmadge LeCroy. Takes a strike. LeCroy 1 for 7 in the series. The hit home run, his 3rd of the season. He's also walked, was hit by a pitch. He scored a couple of runs. The average sitting at .333. And he's been an Ironman, Kate, behind the plate. Caught all 18 innings yesterday. He's back behind the plate today.
Yeah, and I know, knowing Talmadge, as he's been here now 5 years, he wouldn't want it any other way. He doesn't mind it at all. He doesn't want to hear about the word tired or anything like that. He's ready to get back out there.
Well, you forget, you know, he had the injury-marred season last year, but the year before, he was the only Gamecock to play in all 62 games. So he's always been an Ironman type of player.
Yeah, this program just means so much to him, and getting a chance to come here and build his legacy and leave his mark, and he wants to go out on a high note, no doubt.
That misses. 3-1 the count on LeCroy. Kaufman had a no decision last Sunday against Duke. Earned the win against NC State the Sunday prior. That's pulled foul. So he was the starter on the mound for both their wins coming into this series. 5 shutout innings against an ACC opponent in NC State. Hoping he'll revert back to what he did against NC State in terms of his command tonight. Count is full on LeCroy. Always seems to have a tough at-bat.
Yeah, no doubt. I can remember, I believe it was last weekend, or maybe last midweek, 16-pitch at-bat one night for Talmadge. He really just makes pitchers work.
And he wins the battle here. 2-out walk.
And that's also where that experience is on display a little bit. Just a guy who's aware of the zone. I mean, he obviously recognizes being behind the plate as well, but just a guy who's been through the ringer, coming up on 200 career games, all here at South Carolina. He's that veteran presence that's needed for this team.
He's a team leader in walks, 11 of those now. Doesn't strike out very often. Here's KJ Scobie. Sophomore's hitting .328, 2 homers, and 11 driven in. 3 for 9 in the series so far. Home run and a double included in those 3 hits. He's driven in 2 in the series. He's the team leader in that category. 13 runs batted in this season for KJ Scobie. Mike LeCroy, a 333 overall average. 1-1 the count. Pitches outside, 2-1. Two tough ball games yesterday. Coach Maneri said, I knew they'd be tough. Princeton's always scrappy but talented. Their stats a little misleading because of the bad weather. But the key for us is we got some clutch hits, and our relief pitching carried the team. 2 good wins against a program that I have a lot of respect for.
And the things you shared there, Dave, has been consistent throughout the week where South Carolina's won 4 in a row. They've gotten the clutch hits. They've gotten strong pitching out of the bullpen, but also strong starts as well on the bump. That's just been so critical for them in getting that strong starting presence with essentially a brand new rotation every weekend.
Scobie attacks a 3-1 and sends it to the gap. It splits the outfielders and rolls up against the wall. LeCroy rounds third. He's headed home. The relay, not in time. Scobie slides into third. The Gamecocks take a 1-0 lead.
The guy the Gamecocks need to be a guy continues to be one. Driving there opposite field, showing that power he has. Just all areas of the ballpark are really solid 1-2 punch when you factor in LeCroy's on base percentage in that 3 spot, then Scobie's power hitting ability in the cleanup spot.
Team leading 14th run batted in on the season for KJ Scobie. He's credited with an RBI double, advances to third on the throw. So, grounded to the right side, Lamson charges. The underhand flip is in time to get Lazama, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks. In the bottom of the first, they get on the board first. An RBI double from KJ Scobie, and we'll head to the second. It's 1-0 Carolina.
There isn't one thing that makes the SEC special. There are a million different things. The students, the legends, the fans, the passions, the traditions. And when it all comes together, it just means more.
With the right team, there's nothing you can't do. Assemble your friends. Assemble your family. Assemble your universe. Oh, cool as rock! Marvel Assemble.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how it can be any better. We'll travel hand in hand across this wonderland to strike up the marching band, 'cause nothing can stop us now.
Don't wait to make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration at the happiest place on earth.
NCAA tournament appearances. Consistently has Princeton in the top half of the Ivy League, and in that tournament, he's produced a lot of MLB talent. He was a major league player himself. Drafted by the Yankees, 604 big league games. Caught Randy Johnson's first no-hitter with the Mariners in 1990. Coached for a couple seasons in the minors and took over at Princeton Kate in 1997. He's been there ever since.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories that I learned yesterday from former South Carolina head baseball coach and athletic director Ray Tanner. Was talking to him a little bit during yesterday's doubleheader, and he shared that he and Scott Bradley have a history themselves. It goes back to when they were playing days in college. Coach Tanner, of course, going to NC State. Coach Bradley at Chapel Hill. They were both in the ACC. One of them made first team, one of them made second team. The first teamer is Scott Bradley. So Coach Tanner letting him hear about it a little bit. And ultimately, the deciding vote for what put Coach Bradley on the first team for all conference and Coach Tanner on the second was Coach Tanner's coach at NC State, couldn't vote for his own player, so he had to vote for somebody else. And guess who got that extra vote?
Bradley. There you go.
Coach hadn't forgotten these years later.
But because he's a UNC grad, he goes down to play the Tar Heels on a regular basis.
There's a young man here, Jake Coonan, who obviously we talked about Grant Wardesheim already having a really good day yesterday, but you just felt like Jake Coonan was that tone setter for this team. Got a couple power hits when they needed it, made some acrobatic plays all over the field, primarily in right, robbed a couple runs from South Carolina yesterday. Just felt like he really got this offense going. Kind of showed, hey, you can swing bats in this ballpark here this weekend.
He doubled, he homered. He was 3 for 8. He is the senior in the lineup, the lone senior hitting in the middle. Coach Bradley told us on our call this week they're going to need a productive year from Coonan to be successful.
You can just be that you count on your seniors to establish that belief. Oftentimes when you get in tough situations, you turn to those veteran leaders who have been through the trenches before. How to get out of this? He's got to establish that belief, saying you can.
Fouls that off. He's a legacy player. His father, Jason, played for Coach Bradley at Princeton as well, class of 1999. Scott Bradley took over for Tom O'Connell in the summer of '97. 37 years old, just a few years removed from his final game in MLB for the Reds. It was right after Jason Coonan's sophomore season. So he played 2 years under Coach Bradley. Phillips strikes out Coonan to throw down to complete the play. One down in the second strikeout for Ant Phillips.
I like the put-away pitch for the breaking ball for Amp. He's used it a couple times so far here today. Got some swing and misses on it. It's a really good chase pitch for him.
Now they'll bring up the number 5 hitter, the catcher, Will Robbins. Sophomore from Hillsborough, California. Several California natives on this roster. 2 for 17 on the season is Robbins. Both hits, though, are in this series. He's 2 for 5 against the Gamecocks.
Yeah, he certainly likes that stat a whole lot more. 2 for 5 on the weekend versus 2 for 17 on the season. But maybe it's just that first hit that'll get him going.
He had the multi-hit game in Game 1, and it was an RBI double and an RBI single. Got a rest in Game 2 as they started Zdunik behind the plate. That pitch was close, but it misses. Start number 6 on the season for Robbins. Popped up foul territory. Craddock runs out of room. That's off the top of the dugout. So Robbins back to the batter's box. 6 starts, 12 games as a freshman last season, hit .259. He's going to play more in his sophomore season. Princeton, a program that's about development. As they play a lot of their freshmen, you can see, Kay, they start them early and they develop their players. Princeton, they're not a team that he has to worry about for Coach Bradley, players leaving, right? They don't have to deal with NIL or any of that stuff. He doesn't have to convince his players to stay. They want that Princeton degree.
Yeah, it's a really grassroots approach that gets lost oftentimes in today's landscape.
The 2-2. Princeton Tigers, your traditional student athletes. Academics, of course, coming first. Especially this time of year. They just finished midterms this past week. They got home at 2 a.m. on Monday from the Duke trip, just in time to start those midterms. Coach said, you know, we had a come down if you can policy for practice this week, so they did that, and then on the bus, 6:30 a.m. on Friday to come down to South Carolina.
Yeah, and that's a unique approach, no doubt. I often say, you know, your high academic programs, much like your military academies, they overcome some hurdles that a lot of us don't even realize.
That's belted to left. Hoover looks up. It's gone. A solo shot for Robbins.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
We're tied at 1.
Yeah, you did. Hey, Mom.
Robbins, a young man, like we said, coming into the weekend was just trying to get going, attack that elevated heater from Ant Phillips, and just was able to turn on it. Just enough on it to hit that fencing.
First home run of the season for Will Robbins. First of his career. Here's Jake Kernodle, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Kernodle 1 for 5 in the series to hit a double. He was the leadoff man in game 1 and then did not play in game 2, batting 6th tonight. In the hole 0-2. Doesn't chase. Kernodle hitting just 120 to start the season. Bradley says it's shown flashes, hit 300 in the New England League. Got off to a slow start this year, though. Need him to get it going. He was solid as a freshman, hit 286 with 4 homers and 22 runs batted in. Made 37 starts, then last year as a sophomore, 33 starts at 213. Power numbers were down a bit. The 2-2. And the count is full. Did he go? No. It's Brandon Folks over at first, so a 1-out walk for Kernodle. First walk issued by Phillips.
The main thing, Dave, that I said earlier on that I wanted to see from Ant Phillips today was how he controlled his pitch count. You know, South Carolina can't be in a position where they need to have a fuller bullpen than not if he stays on Sundays heading into SEC play. And through his first 2 starts, that's what's gotten him pulled more times than not, is he just run up those pitch counts too high, too early. Next one's going to be number 30 just here in the second.
They used their big guns out of the pen yesterday in the doubleheader. Guys like Valentine and Stone, they're not going to be available, so they're going to have some guys step up out of the pen. Maybe haven't been used as much or have been used in different roles. Coming into today, of course, length from Phillips would certainly help. Gets ahead of Lamson 0-2.
Yeah, you figure today's probably a day you see the freshman lefty Patrick Dudley, maybe a Hudson Lee transfer from Clemson might mix in. Those are some of the names that I figure we'll probably get here tonight.
Zach Russell probably from the right side. The 0-2, got him. And now they've got the runner caught up. Kernodle gets back, but it's the 3rd strikeout for Phillips and 2 down. There's the number 8 hitter, Tommy Googans. Junior shortstop from Cincinnati, Ohio. Check on Kernodle. The ball gets away, and he'll advance to second. So he's now in scoring position. It'll be a 2-out RBI opportunity for Googans.
Look down and see Paul Maneri just frustrated in the Gamecock dugout because it's been those little mistakes that just put South Carolina in tough positions throughout this non-conference slate that they have to eliminate.
It's an error charge to the pitcher, Phillips. That's fouled back off the bat of Googins. Googins in this series is 2 for 6 with a run scored. He started game 1. It's 1 for 4 in that one, and then a hit off the bench in game 2. It was 1 for 2. Replaced Christian Clark in game 2. Looking for a 2-out RBI. The 0-1 is pulled foul, and he's behind 0-2. Cornodal takes his lead off second. 0-2 the count in the number 8 hitter, Tommy Googins. Foul back.
Wouldn't be shocked to see the slider here from Phillips in this spot. Dealt him a changeup for strike 1. That time attacked him at 93. See if he throws in that breaking ball. There it was, but didn't chase it.
And off the plate. 1-2 the count. Thirteen strikeouts and 13 innings coming into this start tonight for Phillips. He already has 3, 2 in this half inning. Called strike 3. Paints the outside corner. Amp Phillips strikes out the side, but he gives up a run. First career home run, Cade, for Will Robbins.
Yeah, big swing from the youngster. The catcher able to power it out. We're evened up at 1.
All you got to do is go, what's up?
What's that?
Go practice.
Yes. Do not ask me how much longer.
How much longer, mamacita?
Bambi?
What do we do?
No more sad sack. Full-on fun sack.
That's what I'm talking about.
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing. I love getting on the stage.
The excitement. I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
Thank you.
American Idol, new Monday on ABC.
For generations, the Oscars have celebrated movie moments that reflect on our deepest truths and echo the entirety of the human experience.
What a performance!
I'm your host, Conan O'Brien.
I had a blast! Good night! Amazing! Yes! Roll it again! Wow, he's good!
Someday, their little hands won't be so little anymore. Until then, let's escape together, hand in hand, on a Disney cruise.
41st season as a head coach, total active leader in career wins in Division I. College World Series champion with LSU. Post-game yesterday talked about winning on Sundays. He said, if you want to have a good record at the end of the year, you have to win some games on Sundays. It's the way it's always been my whole career. He said, I've always preached that. You mentioned it earlier, Cade. You know, they use their big bullets out of the bullpen. So he said, we're going to need some guys to step it up today. Get those last outs if we're fortunate enough to have a lead. He said also it would be nice if we make it easy on the coach and score a bunch of runs. But he said, I'll say this, you know, the more times you win these close, hard-fought games, the more confidence it gives your team.
Yeah, it gives you a battle-tested mentality. Puts you in situations where no matter what deficit you may be facing, hey, guys, we've battled back out of these before. Hey, we need to run in the 8 like they did last night, and guys like Logan Sutter can deliver. It just gives you that sense of belief that you're capable, and that's a long way. That's the mental side of the game.
Sutter, a big reason why they won 2 games yesterday. He was 3 for 7 with a pair of homers, drove in 4 in the doubleheader, scored 3 runs. Right back in that 6th spot. The middle of the order did a lot of damage yesterday.
Yeah, I like Sutter as a hitter a lot. You know, first thing that jumped out to me in the fall was that number 0 on his back. First player in program history to wear that jersey number. I call him Big O for it, and he's just a guy that I feel like he's going to be a big part of this team throughout the year.
He takes ball 3. The count is full. He's a preseason All-American and a transfer from Purdue.
It is that adjustment period, though. Coming over from the Big Ten to the SEC, you're going to see different level arms. And I think for Sutter, it was just a slow start for him, and he's settled in right now.
Drives this to right. It's drifting foul. Well, Coach Mary talked about him in the press conference as well. He said he's hit everywhere he's been before he came here. Had some rough times in the fall and the preseason, and even the spring earlier. You have to stay with a guy like him because sooner or later something's going to click, and he's got 4 homers now, a veteran guy. Coach Minetti said hopefully he'll take a day like Saturday, get really hot as we enter SEC play. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing?
Yeah, over 200 career games, a 350 lifetime hitter. No doubt I want this bat in there if I'm South Carolina.
He fouls it back. Battling against Brady Kaufman. Sutter just looking like the hitter that Coach Maneri planned to bring in. It's ball 4, leadoff walk in the second. Second walk issued by Brady Kaufman.
Yeah, Kaufman coming in, 5 walks and 5 strikeouts on the year. Freshman still looking to establish that command from the bump. Doesn't want to have too much control issues here. The Gamecocks are going to make him pay.
Here's Jack Reynolds. Second start of the season for Reynolds. He's a redshirt junior from right here in Columbia. JUCO transfer from Gulf Coast State College in Pensacola, Florida. Played in both of the midweeks, was 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. His only other start was against Wofford. He was 1 for 5 with an RBI single in that one. He gets hit. The Gamecocks will have first and second, nobody out.
An early jam here for Kaufman, and it's all his own doing. Leadoff walk and a hit by pitch. That more times than not leads offenses catching sparks, because then the hits can soon follow, because as a pitcher, you're going to try and readjust, and sometimes you overcompensate looking to locate strikes and find the zone, which sets up hitters with a nice swing path.
It brings up Dawson Harmon. Junior from Florida, a JUCO transfer as well, at the College of Central Florida. Harmon 1 for 4 in the series, but he's been on base a lot. He's walked a couple of times, was hit by a pitch. The hit was a triple. It's a big rip. He walked and had a 2-run triple in game 1, and in game 2, hit by pitch, walk, reaching a fielder's choice as well. Kaufman gets ahead, 1-2. Harmon, the Florida JUCO Player of the Year last season, was a first-team JUCO All-American. All sorts of power, hit 24 homers. He's got 1 so far this season. Fouls that off.
And that State JUCO Player of the Year award, I think that speaks volumes. And obviously the All-American, that jumps out at you. But to me, that award stands out most, because you look at your hubs for junior college baseball, you're looking at Florida, you're looking at Texas, you're looking at California. There's a lot of talented kids down in the Sunshine State playing JUCO. Harmon to win that award above all of them just shows the kind of player he can be.
He's looking to do some damage here. 1-2 the count. 2-2. He's from Bloomington High School, won a state title there. Began his career at the D1 level at High Point. What a weekend the Panthers are having down in Gainesville.
Yeah, it took 2 of 3 from the Gators, the first SEC foe for the Gamecocks. Yeah, huge win, program-changing series win for them, no doubt.
Did they drop today? Because they were up.
Yeah, they lost it late.
Oh, okay.
Lost it late. Gators caught a little ninth inning magic.
Came close to sweeping.
They
Florida
did.
and
They
Gainesville.
came very close to sweeping them.
Sutter leads off second, Reynolds off first. Here's the 3-2. Driven out to left center. It's caught by Werdesheim. Sutter tags, he slides into third, and now Reynolds heads down to second. So a productive at-bat from Harmon as he advances the runners with 1 down.
Yeah, it doesn't come away with a hit, but you like what you're seeing from Dawson Harmon early in the season. He's doing some strikeout problems, but he's getting good swings off, and eventually those are going to fall for hits.
And that's a good RBI opportunity for Caleb Hoover, making his first start of the season. Sophomore from Heath, Texas. Also a junior college transfer coming over from Grayson College. Grounds foul. He has played in 4 games off the bench. 0 for 3 at the plate, scored a run against Navy. He was an all-conference selection at the JUCO level last year, hit .340, 16 homers, and 49 runs batted in. Also had 5 appearances on the mound, but he's not going to pitch for South Carolina. He's someone who started his career at Oklahoma State, was there in the fall, and then transferred to Grayson. Kaufman head 0-2. 1 down here in the second. Did he go? Yes, says Vic Carell over at third. That's a big strikeout for Brady Kaufman. 2 down.
Yeah, give credit to the Princeton righty. Really responded well after giving up that walk and hit by pitch to lead off. The inning gets the fly out from Harmon, strikes out Hoover there. He settled back in, which that was something I wanted to see from this young freshman out there. Is what does his composure look like in an environment like this?
Now he has to deal with Will Craddock, who has one of the 2 hits for South Carolina, singled in the bottom of the first. Looking for a 2-out RBI or 2 as the Gamecocks have runners at second and third. Craddock extended his reach base streak to 12 games. Well, that got him. The Gamecocks will have the bases loaded.
One thing I love right there, Dave, you saw it from the young freshman. This is a kid that just wants to swing. He just wants to get that swing off. He wants to drive in runs. He was frustrated when he got hit by the pitch. Obviously, I'm sure it hurt a little bit, but this is a kid that just wants to hit. So cool to see from the youngster.
South Carolina had a big scare when he was hit by a pitch in that Sunday game at Clemson. Everyone's happy that it turned out okay. Opportunity here for Tyler Bach with the bases loaded. Gets away from Robbins, but not far enough. Runners stay put.
Boy, if you're South Carolina, taking a look at this Princeton pitching staff this weekend, they haven't made too many mistakes. They haven't given you too many gifts, so to speak, like a leadoff walk, like 3 free passes in an inning like you've got right here. The Gamecocks really, really want to take control in this game, capitalize here, driving a couple runs.
Justin Kim started game 1 for Princeton, went 4 1/3. Liam Kineen was very impressive. Game 2 for Princeton, went 5 innings, gave up just 2 runs. Meeting on the mound here for the Tigers. Big spot early, bases loaded, 2 down. Game tied at 1. Tyler Bach bunted into a double play his first time up. So you know he especially wants to do some damage here.
Yeah, no doubt. Wants to a little get back at bat for him to settle back in. And this is a guy who started out the year strong, then went through a little mid-non-conference late scuffle and is starting to get back to what he was on opening weekend against Northern Kentucky. You really want him to be a big-time piece for this team, no doubt. I like Tyler Bach a lot. I like him as a lefty bat in there. He flirts with power a little bit at times, had a double yesterday, ground rule double hopper down the left field line. So really, actually, I like him in this spot. It's a confidence-boosting opportunity for him.
He's 3 for 8 in the series. He's driven in 2. Bases loaded, 2 down. Ball 1. Check that ball 2. No hits yet this half inning for South Carolina. A walk and 2 hit by pitches. There's a strike. 2-1 the count on Bach. You mentioned, Kate, that he's shown some power this season. A couple of homers for Bach. His second was against Queens. His first was against Gardner-Webb, matching his total from last season with Wofford.
Yeah, we showed it there a moment ago. That's his 26th pitch here this inning, 43rd of the ball game. Just a young man on the bump who's kind of laboring a little bit. Hasn't gotten the calls here in the second inning, though none were really close for him. He's just missing spots right now. Has to try and settle back in, compose himself.
Bach should get something good to hit here. 3-1 the count, nowhere to put Bach. Fouls it off. Member of the SoCon All-Freshman team in 2024. Last year as a sophomore, hit .325 for the Wofford Terriers. Drove in 20. Has 10 RBIs so far this season for South Carolina, looking for more. The 3-2. Line drive over the head of Googins. Sutter scores, here comes Reynolds. Tyler Bach drives in 2, and South Carolina takes a 3-1 lead.
And just what the doctor ordered for this team. Good strike there from Bach, opposite field hit, really solid swing from him. Just was able to turn on a pitch, elevate it up in the zone, drive it opposite way. Now the Gamecocks are up 3-1.
And they're not done. They have runners at the corners. Craddock advanced to third on the play. Bach is at first. And team leader at the plate, Talmadge Lecroy. So Bach comes through with 2 outs. Pitch low and outside. Lecroy walked and scored a run in the first. His team leading 11th walk of the season. On base percentage now at .456 for Talmadge Lecroy. And he will be patient at the plate.
Yeah, no doubt. Going to stick with the same approach he did earlier on, especially what he's seen this inning. You take that hit from Bach, and that's your highlight. But go before that, 3 free passes set up the loaded bases. Young man who, like I said, is coming up on 30 pitches this inning. Talmadge is going to make him work for that zone.
3-0. Kaufman, a 2-way freshman out of Tri-Valley High School. Had a monster senior season last year. Hit .527 with 13 homers, 51 driven in at the plate. Led the state in homers, RBIs, and runs scored. Walks Lecroy, and the bases are loaded again with 2 down.
Yeah, you can tell right now with Brady Kaufman on the mound for Princeton, it just is out of his comfort zone completely. He's getting hot out there. He keeps picking up the rosin bag a lot, messing with his hat a little bit. Just does not seem settled at all as he looks for that elusive 3rd out.
It's going to be a tough out because he's got the cleanup man, KJ Scobie, at the plate. Scobie, an RBI doubles, first time up. 1-0 the count. Team leader in runs batted in, 14 of them. Now hitting .343. Takes a strike. I gave you the hitting statistics from Kaufman. Pitching statistics in the senior season, 74 Ks and 43 2/3. Grounded to short. Googins will get the force at second, and that'll do it for South Carolina. They will leave them loaded, but they get two. So we have some words exchanged here. A little bump maybe as well. The big blow was a 2-run single for Tyler Bach with the bases loaded and 2 down, and we will head to the third. Carolina leads Princeton 3-1.
A diagnosis of ATTR-CM can change how you envision your future, but the next step is still up to you. Start your journey with Amvuttra. Amvuttra treats the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis in adults. It reduces TTR at the source and requires just 4 injections a year. Amvuttra is proven to help people with ATTR-CM live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital visits over 3 years compared to placebo. So you can continue on your journey, whether it's about what you do or who you're with. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. Reimagine what it can mean to live with ATTR-CM. Talk to your doctor about Amvuttra today. Amvuttra, just the ticket for ATTR-CM.
Spectrum News. News from a new perspective. Dedicated to refreshing storytelling and empowering communities across South Carolina. With balanced reporting, providing real context and in-depth coverage 24 hours a day.
Time now for weather. Here's a look at your South Carolina forecast.
Local stories, connecting communities. We are Spectrum News. Available on Channel 1 and on all of your favorite devices exclusively on Spectrum.
When I was little watching American Idol, I was sure that I was going to find a way onto that stage. This audition is the first page of my story.
I believe in myself.
I could do this.
I belong here.
Holy crap, I'm auditioning for American Idol.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's what it's all about. That was impressive.
I do my Sunday dreaming, oh yeah, and all my Sunday scheming, every minute, every hour, every day. I want a Sunday kind of love.
NWSL Sundays on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
All you got to do is go, what's up?
What's that?
Go practice.
Yes. Do not ask me how much longer.
How much longer, mamacita?
Bambi?
Well, Irmo Little League was honored before the game. Made a historic, represented the Southeast region. They're the 4th team from South Carolina to ever qualify for the Little League World Series, eventually eliminated K by Nevada.
Yeah, such a cool story last summer. I remember watching their games. I was at home on the couch with my wife, and we're just cheering on a bunch of 12-year-olds playing Little League baseball. But so cool for them, and the way they just continued to fight and fight and fight all throughout that journey. Had a come-from-behind win against the defending champs to even make it to Williamsport. And then when they're there, they get a come-from-behind win to stay alive and keep fighting another day. Just really cool story for them, as they really were the hometown heroes last summer for the Columbia area.
It's a great event every summer, Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. You have an all-time favorite Little League player? Or?
Oh, man, there's so many. I mean, one of these guys was definitely my favorite last summer, no doubt. I mean, they were hitting big home runs, walk-off hits. It was just so cool to see them buy in. And I think one of my favorite parts about the Little League World Series
Served out to right off the bat of Wordesheim, but Lazama's there, one down.
It is ultra competitive, and we know across the landscape of youth baseball now how competitive it gets and how serious some organizations take. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that, but I still think there's a love of the game in there and understanding that they are still kids. And one of their games late last year, I remember on the broadcast, big moment of the game. I think the kid was the tying run at the plate, and it just said his favorite food, spaghetti. And I'm like, that epitomizes Little League Baseball as a whole right there, because we're thinking about whose mom brought the snacks to the field that day.
The classic answer you get a lot is Big Al for favorite
Absolutely.
player.
I hit dingers, man, no doubt.
Yep. My name's Alfred D'Elia back home. They call me Big Al, and I hit dingers. That was Middletown, New Jersey, not too far from Princeton, 2018.
Yeah, just a summer those kids are never going to forget, and they made a lot of people in this part of the country really proud.
Meanwhile, one down here in the top of the third. This is Joe Montembeau, who struck out his first time up against Phillips. He's 0 for 1. .43 pitches here in the third inning for Ant Phillips.
I'd really like to see if Am could maybe get out of this inning, or in that 50 to 52 range for him. I've said it a couple times, Dave, but I really want to see how he stretches that pitch count out a little bit more and gives South Carolina some more length from the mound before trying to get into the bullpen.
He helped USC Upstate to the Big South Championship last year. The 4-time Big South Pitcher of the Week. First team All Big South. That just misses. Count is full. Gamecocks coaching staff, they fell in love with him after watching him pitch against Clemson in the regional. He was outstanding against the Tigers, 6 innings, 1 walk, 9 Ks. It was a no decision as Clemson scored most of their runs in the 8th to defeat the Spartans. Called strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Ant Phillips.
Great location, attacking the inside corner on the lefty, and just froze him up, no doubt about it.
Looking for a 1-2-3 third. He'll have to get through Bennett Crerar. Crerar singled his first time up. Now hitting an even 200. Up the middle and through past Phillips and Reynolds. 2-out single for Crerar, who's 2 for 2. Third hit of the ball game for the Tigers. And a base runner for Thomas Cernius. He's about to step in. Cernius bounced into a double play his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Big freshman, about 6'3", 240. Prototypical left-handed hitting first baseman. Grayson and I talked about it a lot. Cade yesterday, for freshman, he doesn't strike out much. He comes out of the Trinity League in SoCal, which is far and away the best baseball league in the United States. They see college-level pitching every day in that league. There goes the runner. The throw down from LeCroy is on target and in time. LeCroy throws out Crerar. That'll close out the top of the third. We will head to the bottom of the third from Founders Park. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 3-1.
At Burger King, you're the celebrity. We're just your entourage. And this time, you asked us to hit the sweet spot. The Maple Bourbon Barbecue Whopper is back. It's saucy, crunchy, smoky, and all imagined by you. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
One day, a tiny little hand reached out and wrapped around your finger. Now, they have you wrapped around theirs. Pulled towards a new adventure, reassured with a squeeze. Soon, those little hands won't be so little anymore. Until then, let's escape together, hand in hand. on a Disney cruise.
RJ Decker, I'm a private investigator.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday.
You here to offer me another job?
Maybe we dive in together and find something that connects. What happened to your eye?
It's complicated.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how it can be any better.
Don't wait to make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration at the happiest place on earth.
Getting ready for the bottom of the third. The Gamecocks lead by 2. They'll have 5, 6, and 7 2 up against Brady Kaufman. Really labored in the second. Ethan Lozama grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1, but his bat, Cade, has been heating up for South Carolina. Had a multi-hit game in game 1 of this series. He's got 5 multi-hit games now in the season.
Up the likes of Lee Croy and Scobie in the 3 and 4 slots. I just really like Lozama. Gives you a lefty presence as well with an opportunity for power.
Still looking for his first home run of the season. You know it's going to come at some point. Last year he hit 15 with the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. 9 the season before. That was after 2 years at Gulf State College in Pensacola, so he's a 5th-year guy. 3-0.
There's been a productive hitter at each and every one of those spots. When you take Lozama's entire career, he's hit 300 every single season of college baseball except one. That year hit 299.
He draws a 4-pitch walk.
Boy, if I'm Lozama that year, I'm going to whoever my scorekeeper was. Hey man, maybe this error, can we flip that? You know, let's take a look at this one. That's probably a hit, right? Just so close, but no, all jokes aside, I really like Lozama in this lineup.
He continues to be productive, as is this man, Logan Sutter. Sutter walked and scored a run in the second. That average now up to 353. He hit in the mid-300s at Purdue for a couple of seasons. He's another 5th-year guy. Players getting that 5th year of eligibility due to the Pavia rule.
I want to see just more control here from Brady Kaufman. He's worked himself into issues here for Princeton and led to South Carolina putting 3 runs on the board. And you're talking about 14 trips to the plate for South Carolina leading into this Sutter at bat. 6 free passes have been the outcome. So it's just been for Kaufman a control issue, which really by and large wasn't a problem for him in his first 2 starts of the year against ACC competition.
I'm sorry.
4 walks, a couple of hit by pitches, but he's 0-2 on Sutter. Gets a piece to stay alive. Kaufman certainly had a lot of control in that first start at NC State. He only had 1 walk in 5 innings. Also only gave up 1 hit. Did have some walks, though, against Duke, 4 of them. So the control issues that plagued him a little bit there popping up tonight at South Carolina.
It's a warm night, too. I mean, you're talking about a young man trying to step in. He keeps picking up the rosin bag, just trying to get a little more traction there on the hand. You're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the upper 70s, low 80s all weekend long for a ball club like Princeton, who, aside from the last 2 weekend trips to North Carolina, they've been pretty cold up in New Jersey.
Driven deep to left field. Goodbye. A no-doubter from Logan Sutter. A 2-run shot here in the third. It's 5-1 Gamecocks.
406 feet for Big O. And just a big power swing from him. Third homer on the weekend.
Third this weekend and fifth this season. We'll take another look.
Middle. Sutter crushes it. Young freshman working against the experienced fifth-year All-American. You see how that battle ends up.
Hey, that was a super lock this, boy. Holy shit.
That's what they saw often at Purdue. They're getting it now in Columbia from Logan Sutter. 0-1 the count on Jack Reynolds, who was hit by a pitch in the second, scored a run.
And I like what Coach Maneri has said about Logan Sutter, who was struggling throughout fall and into the preseason and even to the start of the regular season. He's just too good of a hitter coming in with his track record to not stick with him. You got to continue to give this guy a chance. It's going to break through eventually. You just got to give it some time. Every guy's different on what that method looks like for them settling into not only a new season, but a new place as well for Sutter coming over from Purdue. So it looks like he's hitting his stride right here at the beginning of March.
They didn't see it in the fall. They didn't see it in the preseason. The hits that he was getting, it weren't power. It was singles.
No.
But some guys, okay, they just turn it on when you have a different opponent and the lights are on. And here's a base hit for Jack Reynolds. So he's on base 2 times tonight, hit by a pitch in the second and a single here in the third. Still nobody out. And this looks like it's going to do it for Brady Kaufman. Here comes Coach Bradley.
Yeah, second time through the orders, only gotten 1 out, and it was a bases loaded ground out from Scobie. And through that stretch of 7 hitters, you take a look, 3 hits, 3 free passes. It just became a command issue here late. You can understand why they're pulling Kaufman.
Yeah, tough go for the freshman. Princeton will make a pitching change. We'll take a break. Tell you about the new Tigers pitcher when we come back.
When you hear the word declaration, you could think of love or independence, or you could think of the Declaration of Deals sales event. Truck lovers, focus your affection on a new Ram. Independence seekers, Jeep is your freedom. Hurry in for the best deals. Get 0% financing for 72 months on a new Ram 1500 Bighorn, or get 0% financing for 60 months on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited. Visit McKinney Dodge today.
Raph, chili ingredient. Raph, 6 letters. Onions! Put down the crossword puzzle, Raph. The game's on. It'll take me all day to find it. Spectrum makes it easy to find hoops. Find college basketball. Just in time for the tip-off, or maybe they're gonna go a little man-to-man. You'll never miss a second of college basketball on CBS with Spectrum TV. Bert, who are you talking to? Just pass the chips. Are those onions?
What time is it?
It's time for something magnificent.
Something big. Something with a purpose.
The Oscars, live March 15th on ABC and Hulu. Hosted by me, Conan O'Brien.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how it can be any better.
Don't wait to make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration at the happiest place on earth.
All you gotta do is go, what's up?
What's that?
Go practice.
Yes!
No more sad sack, full-on fun sack.
That's what I'm talking about. No, it's more like a Stop, everyone stop, time out.
Disney and Pixar's Hop.
So makes a move to the bullpen. They'll bring in the senior right-hander, Will Sortation, early in his career. It's the last year and a half of Tommy John, just rounding back now. He's got a fastball up to 91. Good curveball. Had a good fall. He's greeted rudely by Harmon. Dawson Harmon finds the gap. It's cut off by Wordesheim, but it's a double for Harmon. Gamecocks are in business, second and third, nobody out.
I'd like to see Harmon cause a little bit of harm this year for Carolina. Had a triple yesterday across the doubleheader, a double here in this one. He's finding his power footing.
5th double of the season for Dawson Harmon. And his first at-bat, Kate, it was a long fly ball to center.
Yeah, just a guy that I thought, I said it earlier, Dave, even despite the out, I feel like that was a really good swing he got off there. And even carrying over from yesterday, he's showing that he's sending balls to all fields and he's really hitting that opposite gap.
Strike one on Caleb Hoover. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. That was against Brady Kaufman. Hoover looking for his first hit of the season. Officially 0 for 4. Limited action. 1-1 the count. Hoover, of course, the younger brother of former TCU quarterback, now Indiana quarterback Josh Hoover. Josh just transferred in to Indiana to replace Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza. Very talented quarterback, holds TCU's single-season passing record. Set that in 2024. And Mendoza and Coach Maneri, Cade, went to the same high school.
Yeah, that was a fun moment in the preseason press conference. Coach Maneri brought that up. Didn't really know what direction it was going, and he tied it all back together.
Pitch outside, 2-2.
Christopher Columbus High School stand up, said Coach Maneri. He was proud to see Mendoza represented on the highest level, winning the national championship, and who knows, maybe #1 pick in the upcoming draft. I like this spot for Hoover. Get him going.
He gets hit. So the bases are loaded with Gamecocks, nobody out. Reynolds on third, Harmon on second, Hoover now on first, and the lineup turns over to Will Craddock.
I want a stinger a little bit there for Hoover. Gonna bring out Coach Maneri to check on him. You could tell, kind of had a grimace to his face there as he was making his way up the line. I think it's just gonna sting more than anything. Yeah, he just showed hit him right there on the knee.
I mentioned Christopher Columbus High School. They both quarterbacked the same high school football team, did Mendoza and Maneri. Here's the hit by pitch.
Yeah, that one's gonna sting right there for Hoover, no doubt.
Craddock was hit by a pitch in the second. He's been on base twice. Singled in the first. Average now at .385, 2 homers and 8 driven in. On base percentage up to .510 for the talented freshman. Takes a strike, 1-1 the count. 2 homers on the season for Craddock, both leadoff homers. Not your prototypical leadoff hitter, but that .510 on base percentage. It's a number you're looking for from that spot. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tough spot here for the reliever, Will Sword. Reynolds is at third, Harmon at second, Hoover at first. That's pulled foul.
You said it, Dave. Last time up, Will Craddock getting hit, and he was frustrated by it, not because it hurt all that bad. I think it actually got him on the protective elbow guard there. This is a young man that just wants to swing the bat, as indicative of those offensive numbers you showed. He wants to get up there and make an impact.
The 2-2. That's well hit. Craddock delivers. Reynolds scores. Harmon will stop at third. An RBI single for Will Craddock. Tack on another run for South Carolina.
Yeah, good swing there. Just drove it through the zone for Craddock. And doesn't look like South Carolina's offense has gone through much of a transitional phase between Brady Kaufman here to Will Swart since he came out of the bullpen. Double, hit by a pitch, and now a ribby single.
Coach Maneri was asking for a lot of runs, so we wouldn't have to worry about those best bullpen arms being used yesterday. Might be getting his wish. 6-1 Gamecocks lead, bases loaded, nobody out. This is Bach. Attacks the first pitch and fouls it off. Bach came through last inning with a 2-run single. Now has 12 driven in on the season. Rips that one foul. Bach's hit all over the order. Katie started the season in the leadoff spot. When he slumped, they moved him down in the order. Starting to heat up again, so he's batting second tonight.
Yeah, he's your prototypical kind of top of the order guy.
Ground ball to the right side, and it's past Lamson. Harmon scores. Gamecocks in trouble on the bases here.
Mistake there because Hoover coming around third, who's still at third. He had caught the stop sign there from John Henry in the third base coaching box about 10 feet off the bag. Craddock just trying to run all the way through. He thought Hoover may have been going to be sent home there. And here's kind of a bird's eye view for it, watching Craddock. And just looks like he was running with his head down there, and that's what cost him in that spot rather than looking up and seeing what the man in front of him was doing.
Harmon had scored. Hoover stopped at third, and then Craddock was in trouble. He was tagged out. Bach did advance to second. It's an RBI single for Bach. 3 driven in now on the night for Tyler Bach. And it's second and third, 1 down for Talmadge Lecroy. Lecroy a pair of walks so far. On base percentage now up to .464. Foul back. Will Sword in relief of Brady Kaufman. There's a strike, 1-2 the count.
Lecroy been a patient hitter so far today, drawing a couple walks.
He's got 2 driven in this series so far. Looking for more here. Second and third, 1 down. That pitch is up high. Lecroy on pace to eclipse the 200 career games mark this season. Veteran for the Gamecocks, he pops it up. Googans camps under it. Sword needed that. 2 down. Ninth Gamecock to come to the plate in this half inning, KJ Scobie. 2-out RBI opportunity. Scobie is 1 for 2, an RBI double in the first. He grounded out in the second. 338 hitter, 3 homers, 14 driven in. On the count on Scobie.
Gamecocks able to piece together another big inning here tonight. 2 runs in the second, 4 runs here in the third so far, and it was all let off on a leadoff walk. You know, Princeton just self-inflicting wounds there, and the Gamecocks doing what great teams do, capitalize on your opponent's mistakes.
7 runs on 8 hits, as you mentioned, Kate, a lot of free passes as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be patient at the plate. You're going to get your looks. You're going to get your walks. And when you need to get clutch hits, oftentimes clutch hits can be set up by guys being patient in front of you and working themselves on the base paths.
Popped up in foul territory. Robbins and Cernius give it a look. It's out of play. KJ Scobie moving over to shortstop this season. Spent his freshman season at third base. Just another in the line of great shortstops that have played for Paul Manera. You think back to the LSU days, and DJ LeMahieu, and Bregman, and others.
You know, going back to that leadoff hitter reaching for South Carolina and then leading to success. So far, you take the 2 games yesterday for the doubleheader, both of them, Gamecocks got 5 out of 8 first guys on. Here today, a perfect 3 for 3. Couldn't draw it up any better. And part of that success, they've scored in all 3 innings so far.
It made Princeton pay for the free passes. 7 runs on 8 hits so far for South Carolina. Opportunity for more here. Second and third, 2 down. Hoover, the runner at third. Bach, the runner at second. The 2-2. To the right side, Cernius ranges over. He'll flip to Sword to retire Scobie, and South Carolina will leave 2, but they get 4. Cade, the big blow coming off the bat of Logan Sutter.
Yeah, Big O hitting one 406 feet to left field. He might have damaged the scoreboard on the way out of here on this swing. His 3rd homer of the weekend as the Gamecocks up 6.
We've done it, Mabel. We put this into this.
When you connect with your inner animal, there's only one thing to do.
We party.
Rock a showstopper, flow proper, head knocker, so it elevates like.
How did he get a little crown?
That's your question?
From Disney and Pixar, it's time to answer the call of the wild. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers. Rated PG. Now playing only in theaters.
With the right team, there's nothing you can't do. Assemble your friends. Assemble your family. Assemble your universe. How cool is that? Marvel Assemble.
March Madness begins March 18th on ABC, ESPN, and streaming on the ESPN app.
Hockey is here. The Spinoramas, here. Intensity coming in hot, here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup Final,
Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
His dad knew his mom when they were 10 years old. Humble upbringing. Of course, everyone knows his brother, Bob Bradley, was a head coach for the U.S. national team. His nephew is Bob's son, Michael Bradley, now currently coaching the New York Red Bulls. Was a captain of the U.S. team. And Scott didn't play any soccer growing up. He actually played football. They just happened to go to a high school that had a legendary soccer coach, an area where Tony Meola, John Harkes grew up, Harrison Carney, New Jersey. It's like growing up in England, soccer heaven in the U.S. Scott Bradley, a big Liverpool fan. So it's the #1 sporting event he sits down to watches more Liverpool soccer than anything. Liverpool, of course, beat Manchester United 3-0 in Colombia, August 2024. Club friendly, in front of 77,000. But they're very close, he and Bob. They shared a room growing up, shared a life. They have another brother, Jeff, who was a writer for ESPN, the magazine. Scott says he still gets emotional seeing videos of Michael Bradley, Bob's son, scoring at the World Cup. And it's a Princeton family. Bob, a Princeton grad as well, coached at Princeton before the professional ranks. Scott says that Bob's his mentor. He's brilliant. His philosophy's on team building, practice organization. Just fortunate to have a big brother like him.
Yeah, World Cup coming up as well here in the States, right?
Yeah. Everyone's excited for this summer. Hopefully the U.S. goes on a big run. And Bob was the head coach for the World Cup in South Africa in 2010. Scott told us a great story on our call this week. He said, you know, Bill Clinton, big soccer fan, he was like a team liaison for that World Cup. 3-1 the count here on Cernius. 3-2. So Bob Bradley calls up his brother Scott and tells him this amazing story. Bob's in his room going through some notes. There's a knock on the door. It's Bill Clinton. Bill said, hey, Bob, you and I are going to go have some tea. So my brother Bob says, okay, that sounds great to me. So they go down, get in the car. They pull up to a palace, and Bob Bradley said, where are we going? Bill Clinton says, oh, we're invited to have tea with Nelson Mandela. So Bill Clinton, Nelson Mandela, Scott's brother Bob Bradley hung out and had tea for about a half an hour in South Africa. How amazing is that?
You know, sometimes you just hear those stories about people running into, you know, celebrities or very well-known, you know, public or political figures, and you're like, just what are the odds of that happening?
American president and a legendary figure worldwide, Nelson Mandela. Throw down to complete the play. One down here in the fourth as Phillips gets Cernius. 6 strikeouts now for Ant Phillips. You know, Bob Bradley helped discover Mo Salah, talking about Liverpool when he was coaching the Egyptian national team, went and watched youth practice. It was after he coached the U.S. team. Saw this little 15-year-old left-footed player running around and said, why isn't he with the national team? They said, he isn't ready yet. And Bob said, oh, yes, he is. And when the pro leagues were shut down due to the Port Said massacre, the Arab Spring, and politics, that's lined up the middle, and it drops in for a base hit. A 1-out single for Kunin. You know, Bob made some calls to Europe and said, I have this little player that's going to remind you in some ways of Messi. So he got him his first opportunity in Europe at FC Basel. Scott said he's responsible for finding Mo Salah.
You know, I got a fun story for you, Dave, that happened to me recently this week, or actually last week. It was myself, Will Crow, who's a part of our broadcasting group here at South Carolina. Also, Stuart Lake, longtime assistant coach here with the Gamecocks, part of the South Carolina radio crew. We all met up for lunch last week, and we met at a local sandwich shop, and Stuart and I got there about the same time. Will was already at the restaurant, and originally a fourth person was going to meet us there, somebody Will did not know, but he had let Stuart and I know he wasn't going to be able to make it. Well, we didn't let Will know that ahead of time. We were just going to let him know, you know, when we got there. So we show up to this restaurant, and there's this guy sitting with Will Crow, former Gamecock pitcher, played in the big leagues, at a table. So we thought, okay, well, maybe Will, you know, recognized a friend in here, so he's going to have lunch with us. Great, no problem. We get through the meal, and all of a sudden, towards the end, this other gentleman walks up who looks somewhat like Will a little bit. They both have a beard, both have brown hair, and he calls the guy's name, and he goes, aren't we meeting for lunch? And the guy goes, yeah, sorry, I was in the front. Well, turns out the guy he was meeting was also named Will. He had no idea because they had never met before either. We go through the entire lunch with a complete stranger. Multiple conversations with the guy. One of the best stories I've ever been a part of in my life. Just one of those unique happenings that you get. And like I said, it was just me, Coach Lake, Will Crow, former big leaguer, and this guy in a restaurant just having lunch. One of those happenstance meetings, kind of like the one you shared a moment ago. Just real funny how things work out sometimes.
Not quite Bill Clinton and Nelson Mandela, but a great group of characters anyway.
No, he was a local
legendary Gamecocks.
Yeah, he was a local minister, so certainly not on the world-known stage like a Nelson Mandela would be, but just a really, really cool thing for sometimes just how our paths cross with different people.
2-2 the count on Will Robbins. Coonan leads off first. It's grounded foul.
So eventually the guy gets up from our table to go sit with the person he was actually meeting. And Stuart and I said to Will Crow, like, Will, well, did you know the guy? And he's like, no, I had no idea. It's like, we were just sitting here and he was sitting at the table next to me and I knew we were meeting a fourth person. I didn't know who that person was. And he and I kind of made eye contact a few times. You know, sometimes how you will with people. And finally, this extra person said, are you Will? And Will's thinking, yeah, I'm Will. Just turns out wasn't the right Will.
Have you ever chatted with Will? He's a super friendly guy. Great
Awesome
to talk
guy.
to. Awesome to talk baseball with as well.
Yeah, he and I have worked a couple games here together this year as he's going through a rehab with his arm. And just awesome to have him back here in the Midlands after what he gave so much to this program and what he gave to both the Nationals and Pirates.
3-2 misses. It's ball 4. So first and second, one down for Princeton to try to battle back this ball game, trailing by 6. It's a second walk issued by Ant Phillips. It'll be 2 on and 1 down for the third baseman, Jake Kernodle. Coonan is your runner at second. Robbins now at first. Kernodle walked his first time up. Takes strike.
Yeah, Gamecock's going to let Ant Phillips run here a little bit on the mound, even though he's at 65 pitches. You take a look out, Carolina bullpen. Got a couple bodies out there, but all of them are sitting down.
0-2. Kernodle started the season slow, 0 for 13, starting to heat up for Princeton. Looking to reach for the second time tonight. The lone run for the Tigers belongs to Will Robbins on a homer in the second. That misses outside. Count evens at 2-2. Got him. 7 strikeouts for Ant Phillips.
And he's done it with all 3 pitches. He's retired guys on the changeup. He's gone with that really most often used put-away pitch, his slider. That time, attacks with the fastball, still sitting at 92 for him. So that's good to see deep in this start for him, closing in on 70 pitches, still right around that 92, 93 range.
Here's Isaac Lamson. He struck out his first time up, 0 for 1. Lamson, a sophomore from Massachusetts. Started 2 games this weekend, started 3 of the 4 games last weekend at Duke. Played a big role in both of their wins this season. Runners go. Lamson attacks the pitch. It's lined to left, but Hoover's there. Side retired for Princeton. They'll leave 2. And We will go to the bottom of the fourth. For Founders Park, South Carolina leads Princeton 7-1.
A diagnosis of ATTR-CM can change how you envision your future, but the next step is still up to you. Start your journey with Amvuttra. Amvuttra treats the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis in adults. It reduces TTR at the source and requires just 4 injections a year. Amvuttra is proven to help people with ATTR-CM live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital visits over 3 years compared to placebo. So you can continue on your journey, whether it's about what you do or who you're with. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. Reimagine what it can mean to live with ATTR-CM. Talk to your doctor about Amvuttra today. Amvuttra, just the ticket for ATTR-CM.
Tired of wasting your money on products that just don't work? That's why new Nugenix Total T2 lets you try before you buy. Just text to claim your complimentary sample. Nugenix Total T2. It's the next generation testosterone booster that sends nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. Feel leaner, stronger, and ready for anything with more energy and drive. Prove it to yourself. Text PROUD to 231-231. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of our newest fat burner, Thermo X, absolutely free.
Pitcher of the night for the Tigers, Parker Coddington, freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. 7 innings, surrendered a couple of runs, but only one of them was earned. Also walked a batter and struck out a batter. We'll go to work here in the bottom of the fourth. His team trailing by 6. Gamecocks batted around in the third, up a 4 spot. 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. I'd like that pattern to continue, Cade.
Yeah, they've been able to piece together the offense here tonight, and they've gotten the clutch hits set up by getting the leadoff man on. 3 out of 3 chances for him. A ton of free passes issued out tonight by the Princeton pitching staff, both walks and hit by pitches. Gamecocks have been patient at the plate, taking the swings when they wanted their pitch. It's been a really, really good showing for this offense that had 2 really good games yesterday, putting up double-digit runs and double-digit hits across the doubleheader.
It was 2 close games yesterday, a 10-7 victory and a 4-3 victory over Princeton.
And that's the thing we're seeing, you know, across college baseball throughout the season, especially this weekend. It gets highlighted a little bit more across the SEC with league play coming up next week, because around the league you start kind of paying attention a little bit more to what everybody's doing right now. And just this weekend, LSU goes down to Sacramento State last night. Florida loses a series this weekend to High Point. Vanderbilt drops the series finale to North Dakota State today. Tennessee gets shut out at home. So winning's hard. And I think that just gets overlooked way too often because of expectations. And listen, expectations is a good thing to have. No doubt about that, but sometimes we can just get so caught up and not realizing how difficult winning can be sometimes, and appreciating and relishing in the chances when you do. Gamecocks put that on display yesterday. You got a doubleheader on tap. Tough to beat a team twice in one day. They were able to do it, took control in both games, and certainly coming out here today, not just happy with the series win, they want the series sweep.
Sutter takes strike 1. Another productive game so far for Sutter. He walked and scored a run in the second, hit a 2-run bomb in the third. That average now up to 371. Did he go? No, says Brandon Folks over at first. Another upset, Cade. Stetson defeated Arkansas.
That's
today.
right.
So that's a number 6 ranked Arkansas team falling, a number 17 ranked Tennessee falling, number 7 ranked Florida falling multiple times. That one gets through Googans, and Sutter will reach for the 3rd time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Coach Dave Van Horn in Arkansas has a midweek schedule this week. I'm assuming they do. If they don't, you may see one pop up on the schedule just to get that taste out of their mouth before they got a tough test coming up. They open up with third-ranked Mississippi State on the weekend, who's dropped some games recently. They are not in a happy place right now. So those are two programs that are going to want to get league play, start off on the right foot, and right some recent wrongs.
Gamecocks open up with those two programs. They'll be on the road at Florida next weekend, and then their first home SEC series will be against Arkansas. Ball one to Jack Reynolds. Reynolds been on base twice, hit by pitch and scored a run in the second, singled and scored a run in the third. Sutter was awarded a hit. So multi-hit game for Logan Sutter. 2-0 the count on Jack Reynolds. Reynolds spent his first season at Clemson in 2023. Didn't see any action, redshirted. Chopped to short. Googins steps on second, fires to first. It's a double play. Side retired for the Gamecocks here in the bottom of the fourth. First scoreless half inning for Princeton pitching. We'll head to the top of the fifth. And South Carolina leads Princeton 7-1.
All you got to do is go, what's up?
What's that?
Go practice.
Yes!
No more sad sack. Full-on fun sack.
That's what I'm talking about.
Assemble your friends. Assemble your family. Assemble your universe. Marvel Assemble.
RJ Decker, I'm a private investigator.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday.
You here to offer me another job?
Maybe we dive in together and find something that connects.
What happened to your eye?
It's complicated.
For generations, the Oscars have celebrated movie moments that reflect on our deepest truths and echo the entirety of the human experience.
What a performance!
I'm your host, Conan O'Brien.
I had a blast! Good night! Amazing! Yes! Roll it again! Wow! He's
Top of the fifth. And Phillips still on the mound for South Carolina, who leads 7-1 pitches for Phillips. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for the Tigers, starting with Tommy Googins. Princeton has produced a lot of MLB talent, not just playing in MLB, but running MLB. Think about Chris Young with the Texas Rangers. He pitched for the Rangers, but is now the president of baseball operations. Mike Hazen with the Diamondbacks. He's their GM. Mark Shapiro with the Blue Jays, president and CEO. Served out to left field. One pitch, one out for Phillips. He gets Googins. Mike Chernoff, the GM of the Cleveland Guardians, all Princeton alum running MLB baseball franchises. And there's a long history of Princeton Tigers in MLB. 8 or 9 of Scott Bradley's players got to the major leagues. Guys like Chris Young, Will Venable, who played, is now the manager of the White Sox. Mike Ford, the most recent, debuted with the Yankees in 2019. He's been on a bunch of teams. I believe he's currently a free agent first baseman. Ordesign takes a strike. Just got to see Ford play a little minor league ball in Charleston. People don't understand how good Ivy League baseball is. It produces a lot of MLB talent, Caden, guys running MLB franchises.
Yeah, you know, you think about the Ivy League, you think about some really talented baseball players that have gone through there, and you think about a lot of really smart people that have gone through there too, and you know, across the league, you look at some players that come to my mind when I think of the Ivy League. Of course, Ron Darling was on the '86 Mets. You know, he pitched at Yale. Lou Gehrig went to Columbia way back in the day, and you know, also Craig Breslow is running the Red Sox. He's a Yale guy, so there's a lot of smart people in the Ivy League. I don't think when you go into a game, the game plan is, hey, let's just outsmart these guys. Let's out-metric them, look at the analytics a little bit more. There's just high IQ across the board.
That's what you want running a franchise. As president, GM, CEO. The 2-1, chop to third. Harmon's right there, and he throws out Wordasheim. 2 down.
Yeah, Gamecocks have been able to figure out Wordasheim a little bit today after not having much luck yesterday. Went 5 for 8 with a double across the doubleheader today. Now 0 for 2.
It brings up the top of the order, and Joe Montembeau hasn't had much success against Phillips. 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. One swinging, one looking. Montembeau, a Swiss Army knife for Princeton Tigers. He's played third, first. He's caught, he can pitch. They run him out in the outfield sometimes. He's the designated hitter in this game. He's just a freshman, but he's been a solid hitter for Princeton so far. They like his approach. 1-1 the count. 2-1. He had 3 hits and 3 walks last weekend at Duke. A couple of hits the first weekend at NC State. His first college hit was against the Wolfpack, an RBI single in game 1 to open up the scoring. Brookhaven, Georgia. Joe Montembeau. 2-2. Fastball in at 91. Phillips looking for a 1-2-3 fifth.
Probably going to be his last hitter at 80 pitches.
That pitch is low. 3-2 the count. There is some action in the Gamecocks bullpen, kid. So we'll see how long they stick with Phillips. You might be right about that. That's looped to the shortstop, Scobie. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Ant Phillips. We are halfway through from Founders Park. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 7-1.
No, it's more like a Hi. Stop, everyone stop, time out.
Disney Pixar's Hoppers, rated PG.
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing. I love getting on the stage.
The excitement. I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
Thank you.
American Idol, new Monday on ABC.
That's right. I'm getting in shape for the Oscars. And I'm not the only one.
We're on a mission.
Come on, just 12 more miles. Let's go.
Just play the game.
People's Choice Award won a marathon last week.
Hockey is here. The Spinoramas, here. Intensity coming in hot, here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup final. Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
BK, ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV.
So all out-of-market games, live or on demand, plus all your favorite sports on ESPN. We need to tell the people, Carl.
We're doing it right now.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV. All out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
Someday, their little hands won't be so little anymore. Until then, let's escape together, hand in hand, on a Disney cruise.
Getting ready for the bottom of the 5th. South Carolina leads Princeton 7-walks. A little work here in the bottom of the 5th against Parker Coddington. 8-9-1 due up, starting with Dawson Harmon. Harmon has been a nice addition, a power bat from the JUCO level. Takes ball one. Talking with Coach Rooney earlier this season, Katie mentioned to me the number one thing we had to get in the portal was power arms and power bats. It just didn't have it last season. Harmon homered on opening day, but he hit a ton of home runs last season at the JUCO level, 24 of them. Even hit 4 in limited action as a freshman with High Point. And we're seeing them capitalize on the long ball in this series.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, Dawson Harmon, a guy that is in the 8th spot in this order right now because of some early season struggles he's had. But, you know, your prototypical middle of the order power bat that you're going to see in the SEC, you know, maybe a 10 to 15 homer guy, you hope, for this ball club. He's got 1 on the year so far. And, you know, really a kid that's shown power to all fields so far this year, and not necessarily, you know, extra base hit power to all fields, but he's shown where he can spray a swing across. So really excited for Harmon to kind of get in a rhythm here and find his groove, and maybe he establishes himself in that 8 spot, and that's where he likes, and there's no problem having power in the 8 hole.
And he has had some of those extra base hits. He tripled in this series. He doubled already today, his 5th double of the season. So 5 doubles and a triple to go along with that homer. Three and 2 the count on Harmon, leading off here in the 5th. Lines that to center, and it drops in for a base hit. A multi-hit game for Dawson Harmon. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, there you go. Just drive it right back up the middle. His double last time out was split the right center field gap. Just a really good swing from him. Gets the hips loose, locks in the shoulders. Really like that swing from Harmon. Even going back, you know, I made the comment earlier, David. I know I've circled back to it before, but even in his first at bat of the day when he flew out, oh, he got a really good swing off. Just, it's shown a positive weekend for Dawson Harmon heading into SEC play.
3 hits, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch already in this series for Harmon. Check on him at first. Harmon has not stolen a base this season.
I think he's going to be one of those guys coming out of the weekend that maybe is one of the unsung heroes of the weekend, because, of course, the attention is going to be on guys like Logan Sutter with a couple homers. As that one gets away and Harmon takes second, you know, the attention's going to go to a lot of those guys, but Harmon's been right in the middle of everything. Like you said, a couple hits on the weekend, now multiple extra base hits as well. I think he's just a piece that's kind of been one of the overlooked parts so far over the last 2 days, but been critical.
Been a lot of heroes this weekend for South Carolina. Caleb Hoover at the plate. Pitches outside. Hoover struck out in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Sophomore from Heath, Texas. Looking for his first hit at the D1 level after playing last season at Grayson College. Rockwall Heath High School, where he also pitched. Well, Harmon will take his leadoff second.
Yeah, pitch clock violation there. Now a 3-0 count.
Four-pitch walk, so Hoover reaches for the 2nd time tonight. It'll be 1st and 2nd, nobody out, and Robbins trots to the mound to have a conversation with Coddington.
And I think Robbins is kind of having a similar conversation to what he had with the first 2 Princeton pitchers we've seen here tonight, and I think it's just been an unfortunate trend for them. They've all just looked uncomfortable to me. Body language speaks a lot for me in this game, and just Princeton hasn't had it right tonight on the mound from that standpoint. And I think that's been the difference maker as far as what's led to the mistakes they've made. It's just been a comfortability thing.
5 walks issued by Princeton pitching, 3 hit by pitches. So 8 freebies. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. This is Will Craddock. That's behind Craddock. Craddock's 2 for 2. He's been on base 3 times. Singled in the first, hit by a pitch in the second, singled in the third. Average sitting at 400. One and one the count. That pitch is inside, 2-1. You're talking about not looking comfortable. Okay, maybe it's just a little bit of fatigue. We talked about, the week that Princeton went through with the late bus ride getting back to Princeton from Durham, and then midterms all week. Early bus ride down here on Friday. You play 18 innings on Saturday, and now here you're on a Sunday night closing out this series. It's not easy.
No, it's not. And, the thing I will say for them, they've been in this spot before because they've done it the last 2 weeks. This is a team that I was worried about coming into the weekend because they had built themselves to play doubleheaders, whereas most teams don't. So just interesting to see how they adjust here.
2-2 upcoming to Craddock. Count is full.
And can't say enough good things about Will Craddock and how strong he has looked right out of the gate here. I mean, you talk about horse racing rather, and this is a guy that jumps out of that chute and it's like 3-4 lengths ahead right out of the gate. 12 career games, half of them multi-hit performances.
Craddock unloads to left, and it bounces up against the wall. Harmon comes in, an RBI single for Will Craddock. It's a 3-hit game for the freshman. Tack on another run for South Carolina.
And he's showing why Coach Maneri likes him in this leadoff spot, and the same reason I do. The guy hits, the guy gets on base. 3 hits tonight, driven in a couple runs. Also got hit earlier. The SEC freshman just continues to shine.
It was SEC co-freshman of the week back on February 23rd after his debut week. He was 8 for 15. A couple of homers, 6 driven in.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to be the last time he wins that award this year.
I doubt it. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change for the Tigers. First and second, nobody out for the Gamecocks when we come back.
Someday, their little hands won't be so little anymore. Until then, let's escape together, hand in hand, on a Disney cruise.
Hockey is here. The Spinoramas here. Virtuoso. Intensity coming in hot here. Wild turns, clappers, and Saturday snipers. All here. All the excitement hitting us live here. Old school and new school in multi-view right here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup final. Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
Hey, Brian Kenny.
Carl, you see this email? Marketing wants us in on a commercial together.
It must be about how ESPN is now
the home of MLB.TV, all out-of-market games, live or on demand. And all your favorite sports on ESPN?
All in one place. You know, it does feel kind of great.
Am I being filmed right now?
Yeah, we are.
My agent's gonna kill me.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV, all out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
The want. The will.
The winner of this matchup goes on to WrestleMania.
The Windy City. Stream Elimination Chamber on the ESPN app with the ESPN Unlimited plan.
I do my Sunday dreaming. Oh, yeah. And all my Sunday scheming. Every minute, every hour, every day. I want a Sunday kind of love.
NWSL Sundays on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN.
Trailing 8-1. Casey Gilman will take over, a junior from Staten Island, New York. This is his second appearance of the season. His First one, he gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, a couple of walks, also had 3 strikeouts. It's first and second, nobody out, 1 already in on the RBI single from Craddock. Caleb Hoover's your runner at second, Craddock's at first. Tyler Bach at the plate. He looks at ball 1. Multi-hit game for Bach, he's 2 for 3. Double play in the first, but then 2-run single in the second, RBI single in the third. That RBI total now up to 13 for Tyler Bach. If I'm not mistaken, that's good for second on the team behind KJ Scobie. He's now at 14. Tyler Bach, someone who hit in the 3-hole at Wofford, Caden. Drove in 20 last year. He's already up to 13. He's going to blow past that total.
Yeah, not a guy that you maybe figured to be a run-producing back for this team, more to be a table setter at the top of the order and guy who scores more of those runs rather than driving them in. But that's been his identity so far this year. There's nothing wrong with that.
He gets hit on a 2-0 count, so the bases are loaded now with nobody out. Hoover down to third. Craddock moves up to second. Bach takes first. That'll bring up 5th-year catcher Talmadge LeCroy. The Gamecocks are looking to put up another crooked number here in the 5th. Want to know the count. An opposing pitcher, Cade. LeCroy is just the worst one to have up there with the bases loaded because he doesn't swing at bad pitches.
Well, he knows the zone here tonight better than anybody else does because he's been behind the plate, maybe opposite the opposing catcher. He knows what balls have been called strikes and which ones haven't. So he's pretty aware of what he's working with at the plate. Plus, you pair that with the amount of experience that he has now in his 5th year. Like we said, closing in on 200 career games all here at South Carolina. That's a lethal combo.
He's already walked twice. Once in the first, once in the second. Popped up in the third. 2-1 the count. Career bat on base percentage over 400. It's currently at 457. He's also a good hitter with runners in scoring position, 438 this season. As Coach Maneri has a chat with Ethan Lazama. LeCroy belts that to right. Coonan back to the wall. Goodbye. A grand slam for Talmadge LeCroy. That's his 4th home run of the season. The Gamecocks have really opened this one up.
You love it for LeCroy, a kid that just loves this program, loves this place, pours into it. And we had said he's been patient all night, and you just had that feeling. LeCroy's a guy that wants to get a swing off, too. He likes the on-base percentage, but he also likes the long ball, too, his second of the weekend.
That one off the railing. It's a 12-1 lead for South Carolina in the bottom of the 5th. Still nobody out. One-on-one the count on KJ Scobie, who's 1 for 3 in RBI double his first time up, since then a couple of groundouts. He goes the other way. It bounces up against the wall. It'll be a double for KJ Scobie. Just a monster half inning for the Gamecocks.
Yep, and the recipe has been evident all night, Dave. My wife will tell you she's the best cook in our house by far, but I know a good recipe when I see one. Tonight, the Gamecocks, out of 5 innings, they have scored in 4 of them. In those 4, they got the leadoff man on base, and that's just been so critical for them to get this offense going, put a little bit of pressure on the opposing pitcher. Don't let him have that composure on the mound that's clearly been absent tonight from Princeton. The Gamecocks have just been capitalizing on that first batter success.
It's a second double the game for Scobie. Here's Lozama. There's a strike. Ethan Lozama is 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked and scored a run in the 3rd. Pinch runner at second is Eric Parker.
I like that move too. Give Scobie a little bit of rest. Like we've said, Gamecocks will start SEC play on Friday at Florida. He's a guy, he's going to be a superstar for this team. At top of the scouting report for every opposing coach, at the top of that list is going to be KJ Scobie. He's not going to get too many times where he can come out of a game or sit aside. Perfect night for him to do that in this spot.
Lifted out to center. Wordasai makes the play. Parker tags. He'll head to 3rd. He'll be there with 1 down. We'll bring up Logan Sutter. Offense just clicking tonight for South Carolina. Sutter a part of it. Walked and scored in the 2nd. 2-run homer in the 3rd. Singled his last time up in the 4th. Been on base all 3 times. Now looking to drive in Eric Parker from 3rd. I thought Sutter's OPS was outstanding last season with Purdue, 1180. So far this season, 1339.
Yeah, a guy that's not been able to flex the power a little bit and put the strength and conditioning department in the spotlight.
And he's slugging 889. It's just absurd.
Yeah, like we said, just too good of a hitter not to have in there, despite some early season struggles. But there's no struggles right now for Sutter. It's all smashes.
Fouls that one back. His OPS was over 1,000 both years at Purdue. County evens at 2-2. Gilman, the 4th pitcher used tonight for the Tigers. Kaufman got the start, and it was Sword and Coddington. Now Gilman trying to survive the 5th. Runner at 3rd, 1 down. And Sutter looking for the gap. He finds it. Parker scores easily an RBI double for Logan Sutter. His 3rd hit of the night. He's been on base 4 times. It's 13-1.
Man, Sutter just playing like Superman out there. This guy cannot be stopped this weekend. He's hit 3 balls out of here, multiple extra base hits. That one, a double into the right center field gap. And it's that all fields power I keep talking about, Dave. And Sutter has showcased that this weekend. Even here tonight, the homer went to left, the double goes to right center. Now he's a triple shy of the cycle.
As if that slugging percentage and OPS couldn't get any higher. Goes higher after that RBI double. Here's Jack Reynolds. Reynolds, the 9th Gamecock to come to the plate in the 5th. They did that as well in the 3rd. Still Still one down. Two-0 the count on Reynolds, who was hit by a pitch in the second, scored a run, singled and scored a run in the third, bounced into a double play in the fourth. From Columbia, South Carolina, P27 Academy. 3-0, that one not close. It's a 4-pitch walk. So first and second, one down. Dawson Harmon about to get his second at-bat of the inning. He started things, Cade, with a single. As you mentioned, all the leadoff hitters getting on this game.
Yeah, it's just led to South Carolina setting themselves up for offensive success. And here in the fifth, it's really been all they wanted to do. 6 runs put on the board, and any pitch they wanted to hit, they did. You had 3 free passes mixed in here in the fifth inning, a couple walks, plus a hit by pitch of Tyler Bach. Of course, the big swing from Talmadge LeCroy, the grand slam, and so cool for him. Dave, you and I were talking a little bit earlier tonight about how much Talmadge LeCroy loves this place and how much he's poured into this program, and it's so cool to see a player like that have success, get in these cool moments. That home run from him taking him over 100 career RBIs now, so just so cool for him. That's an elite club to be in, and to do it all at one place is going to become rarer and rarer in college baseball. And moving forward, Talmadge LeCroy is everything that's right about our sport.
Couldn't agree more. Hoping he has a very special final season here in Columbia. A 13-1 South Carolina lead. It's the most runs they've scored this season. They hit the 12 spot twice, once against Gardner-Webb and once against USC Upstate. It's their first time hitting 13 runs. Looking for more. First and second, one down. Harmon's 2 for 3. Flat to center field in the second, doubled and scored a run in the third, and singled and scored earlier this inning. Foul back. Gilman, the junior from Staten Island, on the mound for Princeton. Harmon, high fly ball. Will it stay fair? No. Plenty of distance. Cade just took foul.
Yeah, had the distance, just not the accuracy. Big fly, though, from Harmon.
Now in the hole 0-2. Sutter leads off second, Reynolds off first. Gilman strikes out Harmon. It's the second out of the inning.
Important stat there. That's the reason why South Carolina's had a lot of success. They've only struck out twice. They've been putting balls in play aside from making contact. For South Carolina to have success this season, you can't go down looking, and that's what they've done, unfortunately, at times this year. Really good offensive approach here tonight.
Ball 1 to Caleb Hoover, looking for his first hit of the night. He's been on base twice. Struck out in the second, hit by a pitch in the third, walked and scored earlier in the fifth. 9-hitter Caleb Hoover making his first start of the season. In left field tonight for the Gamecocks. Grounds to first. Cernius will flip to Gilman, who beats Hoover to the bag, and that'll do it for South Carolina. But they have a big half inning. They put up 6 runs, 4 of them courtesy of Talmadge LeCroy.
Yeah, big fly for LeCroy. Grand slam. 11th career homer. Makes a big splash. And the Gamecocks are up a dozen.
New pitcher for South Carolina. They'll bring in the left-hander. After 5 quality innings from Ant Phillips, he turns it over to Hudson Lee.
Yeah, junior going to step in. Really good numbers on the season for him, especially good strikeout numbers. This year, Hudson Lee, 6 punch-outs in 4 1/3 across 5 appearances, only 1 walk. Opponents just haven't hit him. .077 batting average against him. The only run he's given up has been a solo homer this year, last weekend. So this is a good lefty bat to have in this situation to set yourself up right now in a really good spot for South Carolina in terms of run differential.
6th appearance of the season. Saw him briefly in the midweek. 3rd of an inning on Tuesday against USC Upstate. Did pitch an inning last Sunday against his former team, the Clemson Tigers. Strikeouts this season for Lee. His first 5 outs came via K. Two, 3, and 4 due up for the Tigers, starting with Bennett Crerar. All sorts of defensive changes to tell you about as well for South Carolina. On the count. So the new center fielder is Jamison. Uhas is in right field. Parker's now at short. Bo Hollins is at first. And LeCroy, after hitting the grand slam, will get a rest from catching duties. Braylon's behind the plate. Got a short. First opportunity for Parker defensively. Got him. Just gets Crerar, who was hustling down the line. 1 down.
Close play over at first.
A closer game, okay, they might look at it, but
that's
not
exactly
13-1 game.
That was exactly what my thought was, but awfully close at first.
Here's Thomas Cernius. He's 0 for 2. Cernius ground into a double play in the first, struck out in the 4th, hitting .267. 1 homer, 1 driven in. Princeton really battled in the first 2 games yesterday. Just not their night tonight. certainly weren't intimidated by the competition, nor are they ever. Talked about their schedule this season: NC State, Duke, and now South Carolina. Next year, 9 of their first 12 games are Georgia, UNC, and Georgia Tech. Coach Bradley told me, people think I'm crazy, but my guys like doing it. We just try to compete and see if we can get better.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, gives your kids a good early test, lets them settle in and see the best pitching available to them, and then they can adjust to what they're going to face once Ivy League play starts.
And the guys want the experience. They want to come down to places like Founders Park, things they'll talk about forever. He said this is probably the 3rd time we've come down to play South Carolina and played the regionals. One year at Sarge Fry, but they've been to Mississippi State over the years. They've been to Ole Miss. Paul Maneri brought them down to LSU a couple of times when he was there. One and two the count on Cernius. That's the first strikeout for Hudson Lee, 2 down.
These two teams have such a unique series history, too. You know, I think it's the 12th or 13th all-time meeting between them coming off of yesterday, and it all started back in 1970. And you mentioned they used to play over at Sarge Fry, the former baseball facility for South Carolina. But this one, a unique story, and I've got to ask the man who was coaching the Gamecocks at the time, Coach Bobby Richardson, of course, World Series champion with the New York Yankees, was coaching Carolina at the time, lives down in Sumter, still will come around from time to time. He was coaching them, and the two teams played at the military base over in Fort Jackson.
1-2-3 inning for Hudson Lee. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th from Founders Park. The Gamecocks lead by 12.
A diagnosis of ATTR-CM can change how you envision your future, but the next step is still up to you. Start your journey with Amvuttra. Amvuttra treats the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis in adults. It reduces TTR at the source and requires just 4 injections a year. Amvuttra is proven to help people with ATTR-CM live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital visits over 3 years compared to placebo. So you can continue on your journey, whether it's about what you do or who you're with. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. Reimagine what it can mean to live with ATTR-CM. Talk to your doctor about Amvuttra today. Amvuttra, just the ticket for ATTR-CM.
Fred Anderson Kia of Greer, where Kia buyers go for more savings, more value, more for your trade. It's our goal to save every Kia buyer $2,000. Get your best Kia deal in Greer.
Get it in Greer at Fred Anderson Kia.
The 6th, 13-1 South Carolina. After all the defensive changes made in the top half of the inning, we're going to have 3 new batters for the bottom half. Very comfortable night. Temps in the upper 60s here in Columbia. Guy, Swiss Army knife this season for the Tigers. This is his 2nd appearance. First one didn't go so well. The ERA is pretty inflated. We'll look to bring that down here. First at bat of the game for Bo Hollins. Hollins took over in the field for Will Craddock. And it's a base hit here in the 6th for Hollins.
So good to see from Bo as he's getting settled in after missing pretty much all the fall in the preseason with a shoulder injury. He's much like Princeton, still getting some of his first at-bats of the year, but unfortunately for him, they're counting against him where everybody else just got fall ball at-bats. So good for him to see him start settling in, had a double also yesterday in one of the 2 doubleheader games, and a guy that I still believe in a lot. You know, you hit 300 in this league as a freshman like he did, that shows a lot. And I think it buys you a lot of grace when at times when you maybe not be hitting so far this year, but I still think he's going to be a big part of this team.
Yeah, I agree. He's so talented offensively and defensively. Switch hitter. He's now 2 for 8 in this series. Aaron Jamison, speaking of talented players, his first at-bat of the night, took over in center field for Tyler Bach. Jameson 1 for 7 in the series, started both games yesterday. Also walked and scored a run. Junior from Morgantown, West Virginia. Junior college transfer. Belts that out to center field. Wardesheim has a beat on it. So 1 on, 1 down. Hit that hard. I'll bring up Gavin Brayland. Brayland's playing his 5th game of the season. We saw him off the bench on Wednesday against Charleston Southern, was 0 for 1 in that game. He's a sophomore from Hampton, Georgia. Did start 1 game this season against Northern Kentucky in the season opening doubleheader. Had a hit and a sac bunt RBI in that one. "36 games, 28 starts last season as a true freshman. Saw a lot of time after the injury to LeCroy. Actually took over the starting catcher spot. Had a couple of options, but he got the majority of the work. That's a pop foul. He hit 198, but got a lot of valuable experience, you know, especially in SEC play.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You know, got battle tested last year and was able to develop a little bit offensively and defensive there once LeCroy went down with a season-ending hip injury. Now he can step in this year, another full year to develop along with LeCroy.
Now Georgia Premier Academy, in Statesboro. Heading the count 3-1. Now it's 3-2. Highly touted out of high school, the number 43 catcher in the nation by perfect game. Chops that to the left side. Googins, his only play at first. 2 away. Hollins advances to second on the play. And so it's a 2-out RBI opportunity upcoming for Eric Parker. Look at his first at-bat of the night. Parker took over for KJ Scobie, pinch ran in the 5th and scored a run. University of Georgia transfer is 2 for 9 on the season. Grounded to short. Googins throws out Parker, and the Gamecocks will leave 1. We will head to the top of the 7th. South Carolina leads Princeton 13-1.
RJ Decker, I'm a private investigator.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday.
You here to offer me another job?
Maybe we dive in together and find something that connects.
What happened to your eye?
It's complicated.
Hockey is here. The Spinoramas, here. Intensity coming in hot, here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup final. Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
This is unlike anything you've seen in golf. Oh yeah. One more time. Got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time.
Scratch coverage on ESPN.
Inside the NBA has it all. The hustle, the swag,
this drip right here,
and whatever's going on here.
I don't know that, man.
Home of Inside the NBA, all season, playoffs, and finals long.
For South Carolina, the Charleston native sophomore Zach Russell.
And the thing about him, the step forward he's taking in the power department, you're going to see upwards of 96, 97 out of the young sophomore. And such a cool story for him as he settles into his sophomore season. You go back to his freshman fall. This was a kid that came in as a shortstop, an in-state recruit coming to the Gamecocks, and wasn't going to make it out of fall camp. It was going to be a fall ball cut, like so many major Division I programs go through. They bring in extra guys through the fall to eventually weed down the roster. And for Russell, was going to get cut, and just one day, coaches kind of heard that he could pitch a little bit too, so they wanted to see what he had in the bullpen. And when he throws 94, 95, suddenly, well, let's talk about pitching here. Let's maybe explore that a little bit. And that's what earned him a spot on the team last year. Made a ton of appearances last year, especially in league play for this ball club. And this year already going to be his 6th outing before league play even gets here.
It wasn't until the middle of the fall last year that they made the switch. Russell saw him for a third of an inning on Tuesday against USC Upstate. Also tossed an inning on Sunday at Clemson. He gave up his first run of the season. His first 3 appearances were all scoreless. That's grounded to the right side. Russell off the mound. He was a former shortstop, Kate, so a very good athlete.
Yeah, it shows he can still fill the position a little bit too.
That was Bryce Guyan, by the way, who was pinch hitting for Will Robbins. One down. Here's Jake Kernodle. Kernodle 0 for 1 with a walk. He walked in the second, struck out in the 4th.
Go, Zach. Yeah.
One and 1 the count on Kernodle. Not going to see as many changes despite the lopsided score from Princeton. Their roster just isn't as big as South Carolina's. It's one of the smallest in the NCAA. And they have 3 players out, so it's even smaller than what it looks like on the paper roster. The key for them, which Bradley told us, is their versatility. They can go 2 or 3 deep at most positions, but when the game starts, they'll only have maybe 3 or 4 available to come off the bench.
Yeah, and they lost one with today's starting pitcher, Brady Kaufman, who was a hitter in both games yesterday.
Right. We saw their designated hitter today on the mound, the last half inning in Montembeau.
Get hot, get hot.
2-2 the count on Kernodle. Chopped right back to Russell off the mound. Makes the play once again.
Man, he's making like shortstop story look really good right now.
PFP, not a problem for a guy like Zach Russell.
No, I love it. Just, you know, when one door closes, another one opens, and it's up to you to embrace it. That's exactly what Zach Russell's done. That's why I think he's going to have success here, because he's just embracing what his next opportunity is, and that's on the mound.
He's been excellent this season. Pinch hitter is Dylan Sedunik. Sedunik was the catcher in game 2. He's pinch hitting for Isaac Lamson. Sedunik hitting .267, no homers and 2 driven in. Junior from San Gabriel, California. It's grounded foul. One and 2 the count on the pinch hitter, Sedunik. Gets a piece. Sedunik 0 for 3 in yesterday's game, did walk. Russell looking for a 1-2-3, top of the 7th. 1 and 2 the count. Lays off, 2 and 2. Sedunik at a high grade coming out of high school. A talent-rich state in California. Started 9 games last season before injury. The 2-2. We'll do it again.
Go Z! Go Gamecock fans, come on.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Called strike 3. Russell closes the game in style. A run rule victory for South Carolina. They defeat Princeton 13-1. 13 runs on 15 hits and 1 error for the Gamecocks. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Princeton. Cade after 2 hard-fought victories yesterday for Coach Maneri's club. Just an offensive onslaught here in game 3.
Yeah, big exclamation point to close out the weekend. Really good showing from the offense across the last 2 days. Double-digit runs, double-digit hits in 2 of the 3 games. League play on the horizon. They'll go down to Florida on Friday. You hope this is a sign that the Gamecocks are finding a rhythm at the right time.
Princeton will head up to Rock Hill to take on Winthrop for a couple of midweek games on Tuesday and Wednesday. South Carolina will hit the road as well. They'll travel to Charleston, South Carolina to take on the Citadel at Joe Riley Park on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. South Carolina improves to 12-5. Princeton drops to 2-8. For Cade Crenshaw and the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Weinstein saying so long from Founders Park. South Carolina defeats Princeton 13-1.